Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody tuning in to this month's edition of the OL Assembly. Welcome. My name is Karishma Sushil Kumar from the batch of 2005. I'm going to be one of your hosts today. And here are my co hosts.
Good evening, Karishma. It's nice to be back in this OL Assembly. Uh, can you imagine we've run 12? This is the 12th edition of the OL Assembly, right? And it's really fun to be back in this. So this edition is going to be called Lovedale: The Lighter Side of Life. Right now, uh, you know, Lovedale is not only about studies or about games. It's also about the mischiefs that people play. So here's the lighter side of Lovedale, introducing our guest host for the evening. We've tried this new thing of guest hosting, getting someone to guest host, and you would have noticed the previous editions. So we have Samanti Sinhare from the batch of 77. Hi Samanti, good evening. Over to you.
Hi, Vinod, and it's great to be here.
Hello,
And
welcome.
thank you, Karishma. And I was just thinking that if it's lighter side of life, then there should have been Radhika Vaz doing the co-hosting. And if Radhika Vaz had been co-hosting, she would have used the V word. So since she's not here, I think I'll use the V word. So let me tell you a little anecdote about the V word. V word. Okay. So this lady in my building, she told her maid, if you don't get the vaccine done, you can't come to work. So half an hour later, her maid sent her a WhatsApp photograph of bare arms and legs, hairless arms and legs, and said, Madam, can I come now? Anyway, I've used the V word. V in COVID times means vaccine and not. Okay, so let's get
Should
on
have
with
been
it.
just fine as well. Alrighty, so everybody, welcome to the lighter side of life. That's a theme for today. We're coming up with lots of fun stuff to showcase the lighter side of life. All right, so as always, we'll call on folks from the OLA committee to just say a few words and help us open up today's event. We've got the OLA Vice President, Elizabeth, uh, aka Bina Tharakin, well, Beliappa Ne Tharakin. I'm sorry, Bina Auntie, I botched that a little bit. But here's Bina Auntie from the batch of 1970 on to share a few words and help us open today's session.
Good evening, everyone. As always, an honor to be here on this assembly. How time flies. This is our 12th assembly. The OLA started the very first OL assembly in May 2020 to keep our fraternity connected through COVID times, especially since we missed our big reunion on the campus, which is Founders. Encouraged by the feedback we got, we began the monthly assembly. It definitely has not been easy, as this has been a huge challenge to conceptualize and execute with all the fun and entertainment and to think of new themes for each month. We are extremely grateful to this great, enthusiastic assembly team who try their best to better themselves month on month. We have ever so many people from among you all to thank, not just with the content, photos, music, and so on, but the encouragement too, which reassures us that we are in the right path. More than anything else, on behalf of the OLA, I would like to especially thank the people who started and nurtured the OL Assembly but had to move on with their other commitments, namely Arjun Rao, batch of 99, Karthik Raghavamurthy, batch of 84, and Kuntal Desai, batch of 80. What a wonderful legacy in service to our fabulous alumni network. If you've got skills and talents that we could put to use in the production of this show, come join us, especially those with technical know-how, editing, production, can never have enough hands on the deck there. Come to be part of this legacy. You can reach out to us at olalovedale@gmail.com. I repeat, olalovedale@gmail.com. A little sobering information. Everyone, please take special precaution of the second wave of the dreaded coronavirus. It has taken yet another one of our own from the alumni. In the month of September 2020, we lost Dr. Vinu Ganapati, batch of 74 in Florida, and a few days back on the 6th of April, we lost Hinfaz Habib in Kochi from the batch of 2001 to COVID-2. We also lost a teacher, Mr. Jagdish Pandey, who served the school for 20 years after a brief illness. What is common is all three of them had siblings at school. Mr. Pandey's two sons also studied at school. On behalf of the OL fraternity, our deepest sympathies to the families and the classmates. Now to come back to this assembly, life at school left us with many memories, and all of us made some of our best friends here. The theme, as mentioned, is on the lighter and fun moments at school. Most of our spouses will recount the number of times the same stories are told at every OL gathering, big or small, and we live on these memories, which are fortunately mostly fun. So now all of you sit back and enjoy the little entertainment that has been put together through song, limericks, sketches, talks, etc. Thank you once again for all the support, and now over to you, Karishma.
Thank you once again, as always, Bean Auntie, for coming on and opening the show for us. Folks, now we have the esteemed and honorable headmaster of the Lawrence School, Lovedale, Mr. Prabhakaran, is on again. As always, he's here to share a few notes on what's going on at school, a little heads up, and just celebrate the light side of life with us. Mr. Prabhakaran, good evening, and thank you for being with us.
Good evening. Good evening. First of all, thank you very much to this OL assembly team, and all the best from school side for the 12th edition and also many more editions to come. And it's always a pleasure to be in touch with the community. As Bina Auntie mentioned,
thank you so much.
Yeah, as the Vice President mentioned it, we are comparatively safe. The situation in Nilgiris, in Lovedale, is not that very serious, but however, there is unpredictability everywhere. We had about students from 9th standards to 12th standard, but a couple of weeks back with government decision, 9th and the class 11th is sent back, and class 10th and 12th is there preparing for the board examinations. The practicals for the class 12th board examination has already started. And our academic year ended in March, and the new academic session 21-22 has started. Everything is on online from 1st of April as scheduled, and new admission process also completed. The inductions and everything has been done online, and whatever is possible by using this technology and online platform, we are carrying on with the work. And of course, it's a very well protected area. Children are safe. However, a lot of disturbing news coming, whether the exam will be there. But so far, CBSE examination is final, and that there's no doubt, and official information is there. And we are starting our examination on first week of, that is 5th of May, and it will carry on till 10th of June. And after 10th of June only, we are after first week of June only, we'll be after exam, we'll be closing the school for a short summer monsoon break. Otherwise, things are all normal going on, and batting with this COVID-19 situation like everybody else in the country, in the world. Thank you once again, and all the best from our school community for the great work of this OL assembly team. Thank you.
And thank you always for being here, Mr. Prabhakaran. You're just the most sporting ever. And thank you so much for giving us that update on the exams and school and kids. I mean, it's got to be safe. I hear what you're saying, but also lots of concerns around that. So thank you for being at the helm in this stage of school's life. Thank you once again, and very good evening to you.
Welcome. All the best.
Thank you so much. All righty. So Okay, so now we're ready to get started, guys. All right, so I'm gonna bring the lovely Sam Auntie on. Hi, Sam Auntie.
Hi.
Also,
Have
hear
you
the
seen
news.
this? Have you seen this WhatsApp? Did you get it as well?
What do you
They're
mean?
saying that they found somewhere in Lovedale. They're saying some school they found the Chinese coins or whatever. I mean, that can only be Lawrence, right? There's no other school which had Chinese coins.
Um.
There's some guy called David
Oh, I see
Jairaj.
what you're talking about. Right, right. It's doing the rounds.
Yeah. Apparently they were digging somewhere near Smith's Cave
You
or
know what?
something, and
That's. Oh, I see. No, I know the reason. I'm seeing what you're saying. I was kind of confused for a bit, but those coins that they found. Actually, we talked about something similar in the last assembly. The wonderful, the glimpses of a glorious past team had put together,
yeah,
and we, this bit on how they used to use these Chinese coins because Chinese prisoners were used.
yeah.
I mean, prisoners were used to build the school. That kind of makes sense. So, what does it say? I
It
mean, is
says that they
this
found
something
this
very,
box full of coins somewhere in somewhere near Smith's Cave or something like that, and apparently this numismatic society is taking. And there's somebody called Pestonji or whatever, who's a professor, very international. I mean, internationally renowned and all that. He says it's going to be worth like crores, probably millions. And if it's Chinese, I don't know. Uh, do we
I'm
want to
seeing
have?
I'm seeing what you're talking about now, Auntie. So, it says that it's going to cost a not cost. It's going to be valued at a lot of money. That's
Yeah,
we
yeah,
just heard about news from school. Well, this sounds like big news from
yeah,
school.
yeah.
But you know
So
what? I think let's go ahead and maybe Google some more on this. But we'll carry on with the show.
yeah, it's best to check it out. Okay, I'll check it.
Let's figure out what that is. Okay, so well, let's get started. Here's our first segment. It's about limericks and a compilation of OLs sharing their stories about the lighter side of their life while they were at school. It's a fun little, as always, intergenerational sort of mix of stories which are rather enjoyable. Now, the limericks are written and narrated by Sujata Bisaria, ne Goyal, from the batch of 1980, and the drawings are by Anita Singh, also from the batch of 1980. So have a look at this. We've also had our wonderful Kuntal Desai, who's really developed this into a lovely segment for us and edited for us. So please enjoy the first part of the limericks and lighter side compilations.
Morning assembly in the large hall, solemn atmosphere and all. Feeling restless, I play a prank. When to sing a hymn, we all stand, then I pull the chair back as she sits and has a fall.
Jessica Tukaran here, batch of 83. So pranks were a huge part of Lauren's life. And we came to school very young, and our minds were filled with stories about train parade and apple pies and Halloween's night, right from day one. Now, these pranks have become a huge part of our school traditions, but I'm not sure how many of them really exist till date. So, going down memory lane on train parade. The older girls conditioned our minds to believe and so that we would cooperate in the prank. So the reward they dangled in front of us was supposed to be the chocolates and the goodies and everything that your mind could imagine. I was lucky that I had great seniors like Madhvi and Rachel, so I did not have to do the calling. But on the day of train parade, we were told to pack our trunks with everything that we brought from home, and we were not to leave anything behind. And we had to take our trunks and walk up to top flats. If you were not one of the cheeky girls, then the seniors would maybe help you. On reaching top flats, we were told that there's a moving train, and we had to hop onto the moving train with our trunks in our hand, which is not an easy task. We were told that, a lot of people fall down, but if you made it to the top, then it was filled with all kinds of goodies. There were chocolates and ice creams and candy that awaited you on board. That was a single thought that kept us hungry souls believing in train parade. So here we are, Laurentians, old and young, many, many years still, reminiscing on the pranks that formed a huge part of our Lawrence life. And that made us a sport. And today we still enjoy pranks. Cheers.
Of the unplanned prank that happened in prep school. We just come back home after our class 5 exams, and my cousin had joined school as well that year in class 6, I think it was. And it was that beautiful morning that you wake up to in Lovedale, and as you're getting ready for assembly, that you can smell the polish on the floors, that squeaky, fresh new wooden planks against your newly shined shoes. And we're all getting ready, adjusting skirts and blazers and sweaters, standing in line, and I can spot him already sort of standing just before the front row of where the girls were to come in. And we smile. And it just so happens as that we, as we all form the line and find our way into our space for the assembly, I happened to be sitting just in front of him. And you know what's going to happen, right? We sing the song. I, bring my pleats of my skirt together to sit down. And where do I land? I land on the floor. Because my beautiful cousin has decided that that's where I need to be at that particular morning. And of course, there was a huge roar of laughter emitting from everyone, including myself. And then we had to quickly pretend that it was an accident because I didn't want to rat on him on his first day at school. And there began a friendship of a lifetime. These are the things that school is about, and you so cherish about that. It's a good laugh always.
That was, thank you so much, ladies, for sharing those stories. That was Jessie from the batch of 83 and Karishma from the batch of 99. Thank you so much for sharing that. Guys, what we have coming up next, for those who've been watching the assembly for a fair few months, our standard segment on the glimpses of a glorious past. We sort of talked about it in the intro there. We sort of went on our detour. And so what this segment is a documentation of the history of school. And we have we've got readings of extracts of this ebook that is available on our website, olalovedale.net. So under the section of history, if you're so moved, go check it out, guys, on our website. So what we're going to cover this month with that wonderful new team who is really helping with the production of this, you're going to see this team show you some tidbits on the Blue Mountain Railways and its connection to our school. So sit back and enjoy the storytelling.
Incidents, or rather two pranks that we played on April Fool's Day with our teachers of junior school and senior school. So the first one, let me give you a little bit of a background to this. The school had seen a very serious form of bullying in the 80s, and when Mr. Lahiri became the headmaster in 1991, he systematically weeded out all the forms of indiscipline, including bullying to a great extent. So keeping that in mind, we played this whole prank. So this one afternoon, we sent a 9th class boy to the Aravali House headmaster's Nilendu Dev was the headmaster, and he told ND, we used to call him ND, and he told ND that the 12th standard boys are planning to come and beat you up late in the evening with hockey sticks.
31st March, clock tower is about to strike to midnight. And there comes the class 12 boys raging out in the skating ring with hockey sticks. Yeah! We are leaving school, we are not scared of anything. Let us see what happens. And then we went knocking to the Aravali House master, Mr. Nilendu Dev, who was newly married, and his newly married bride opened the door. Our batch had a lot of 6-footers. So she saw these tall guys in front of her with hockey sticks asking for her husband to come out. The poor lady almost fainted.
So just to make this a little more credible, there was a lot of chatter, a lot of whispers, because we knew through the wooden flooring, through the cracks, everyone somehow could hear something or the other. So we made sure we were loud enough for him to hear what we were planning, let's beat him up and things like that. And so he heard all of that, and then he called up Mr. Lahiri, and he told Mr. Lahiri, this is what the boys are planning. And Mr. Lahiri said that, don't worry, you face them and I'm there with you. And Mr. Lahiri was, of course, hand in glove with us. So that was the good part. And eventually then, this was the first part of it. While this was going on, I, after dinner, took a 8th standard boy, a junior school boy, and we kind of kidnapped him and we kept him in one of the prefect's rooms. And then I pretended to be the boy's father. I'm from the senior school console. I called the junior school and asked for my son. And nobody could find him, and I was getting very upset that why is my son not coming on the line. And slowly from senior school, the boy was from TSK's house, and slowly from senior school we could see one light going on, then the second light, third light, fourth light. In 5 to 10 minutes, the whole junior school was on its head, everyone running helter-skelter trying to find this boy. And of course the housemasters got together. We could see all that, from up, that they're getting together and they're like getting really hype about this whole thing.
Anyhow, then we had Mr. G. Vednathan, accounts teacher, who had a personal liking towards me because I used to attend special accounts classes at his house. He came out and he was in tears. He was actually crying. Baba, Baba, Baba. He hugged me. Baba, what is this, Baba? Drop the hockey stick, Baba. Please, Baba. Don't do that, Baba. Mr. Popaya, who was ex-army, we heard that he has come out from his house with a gun. So the whole school was running topsy-turvy, and
also a trick on the deputy housemaster, Mr. Dash, who was new. It was his first year, and he arrived. He had a small 5-year-old son who he left, and he arrived and he just saw this, and it was a shocker for him, and he screamed. And I still remember he had a voice which would give Amitabh Bachchan a run for his money, and he was like, Mr. Dash was very strong in the way he spoke, and he came and he screamed, "What the dickens is going on?" While all this was going on, Muhammad Ali Shah was at his best, saying, "Hara, blah, 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 blah." And then Nilendu Dev was like, "But what is this gentleman saying?" So it was, we didn't know whether we should laugh or, we should still keep our straight faces on. And ultimately, Larry arrived, and Mr. Larry arrived, and he said, "Okay, stop everyone. Do you guys want to say something that, before I start?" And we all, said April Fool's Day. And Mr. Dash was up like this, and he just fell on his knees, and he just didn't know how to react. And while all this happened, suddenly one of the junior school housemasters, Mr. Jaffar, is like, "What is all this nonsense? This is all nonsense you all are doing. Let's go and find that boy who's got kidnapped." And then we broke the second one and we said, no, he can't kidnap. He's very much with us. And so these were the two things that the batch of 98 played on the teachers. Quite a few teachers who laughed a lot. There were a few who didn't laugh that much, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope this story makes you smile. Happy April Fool's Day.
Well, that was Ajit and Ali from the batch of 98 talking about some of their, lighter moments in school, as I would call it, right? And I know, Karishma did announce GGP earlier, and, that's that well, and we played this video, but that's what lighter side is all about, right? So moving on to the next segment, right? So Lovedale has always been an area where people used to always enjoy the lighter side of life. Whether it is playing some mischief around, or whether it is playing some pranks around, or whether it is playing just having fun, right? And so we'll just move on to another set of videos, a video compilation, right? And as usual, this is going to be preluded by some more limericks that when Sujata, Anita, and Kuntal come together, the magic of limericks happens. So, it will be preluded by some limericks, and Krishnan Nambiar from the batch of 96, and Madhu from the batch of 2013, will share how they enjoyed the lighter side of life. So let's watch that and have fun.
Waiting in bio class for Justin. On our faces, an impish grin. Surprised at the entrance, he lingers to see the skeleton with the chalk between its fingers, sitting on the teacher's chair, merrily smoking.
My name is Krishnan. I'm from the batch of 96, and I've been a prankster in school. But today I'm actually going to tell you a story of not me pranking somebody, but a group of my friends pranking me, because that's a lot more interesting. Okay, so I go way back to prep school, and there was this evening I'm running late for prep, and I'm running down the corridor from Jamna House. So I reach, those flight of stairs just before the dining hall. So I reach there, and I see this really pretty girl. Okay, it's more like the love at first sight definition for a 6th standard boy. And then I walk to the class from there, and the rest of the prep, I was just thinking about her. So the next day I figured out she's actually a new batchmate. Okay, so she's joined our class, and I didn't have the balls to go and speak to her. So I waited for an opportunity for the whole year, and which never came. And then I went to junior school. I still didn't have the guts to go speak to her, but I found somebody who would speak to her on my behalf. Okay, and who are these boys? There is Sonasam Varghese, there is Arjun Kochi Philip, there is Abraham LK, and Adit Maman, 4 of them. So I go and tell these guys, I really like this girl. Can you get me an intro? And they were like, yeah, no problem. We'll get it sorted for you. No, not a problem. We'll start with the chocolates for her on, Sundays. So I said, fine, no problem. But, it works for me. So the first Sunday in 7th standard, I give all my pocket money to these guys. Okay. So they take the pocket money, they go, and they come back in the evening and they tell me, yeah, she liked the chocolates and, she's very happy and things. So what am I expecting? On Monday, she's going to look and smile at me and, the usual stuff. So Monday morning, I go to class and she's not even looking at me. Okay. And I was quite disappointed. But then again, I thought maybe she's too shy. maybe the next weekend. So the next weekend comes in. I give my full pocket money to my so-called mediators, and they come back and says, yeah, she's very happy. This thing went on for a whole year. Okay, the whole entire year. These guys just took the money from me, and they actually bought the chocolates, but they ate it. They didn't give it to her. And the irony is, I never spoke to her my entire school life. Now it's been 25 years. I still haven't spoken to her.
And I'm from the batch of 2013, and I'm here to talk about train parade. Going back home after I think a year of being in school, and I remember around that time suddenly there were people talking about this thing called train parade, and train parade is coming up, and all of us that just joined, like the few people that had just joined that year, didn't know about it, obviously. And we were, oh, what is this? What is it? And all the, the reason why we fell for it is because everybody was in on it. Everybody. Like, it was insane how, right from teachers, seniors, juniors, everybody was in on it. And of course, at that age, like, it's not tough to fool somebody. Come on. Okay. And so I fell for it. Obviously, it was about this. So what they told us was there's this train that comes every year to Lovedale Station filled with all the things you could imagine. Like absolutely anything, right from a phone to any specific toy that you wanted or anything was in that train, right? It's just there and it's free, and if you're there to get it from the train, then it's yours, that kind of thing. And got so excited. I remember getting so excited. I called my parents and I told them, Mom, Dad, there's this thing called train parade, and there's going to be this train that comes with everything, and I'm going to get, and people have told, my friends have asked me to get this and that for them, and I'm going to get, so tell me what you want. I can get whatever you want. I'll get it and I'll keep it for you. And I remember my mom, she's saying, oh my God, this is a joke. It's not true. Like, come on, don't fall for this. And I was like, no, Mom, you don't understand. It is happening. Like, it is a thing. And once I get everything, once I get the stuff from the train, then you wait and watch. Like, then you'll regret saying this and stuff. The day of train parade, we took our satchels and whatever bags. There were people that took suitcases, okay? Come on. I'm glad I wasn't one of them. I feel bad for them. Anyway, the day of train parade, we go to Top Flats, and we were told to take a few rounds of Top Flats. I don't know why, it didn't make sense. But they said that whoever reaches the train, and like, it's on first come, first serve basis. So I guess it was like a race. And then we had to run from there to Lovedale Station and then wait for the train. We ran, huffing, puffing, we reached the station, and I remember like being at the station. There was a train that I think came and didn't stop at the station, and I was confused. I was like, maybe it's the wrong train. And then I remember somehow, like, people started talking, and then the word spread, and it was like, oh my God, it's a joke. And oh my God, I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I learned one of the biggest lessons of my life at that point, which is to be able to laugh at yourself, for anything, for whatever reason. You should be able to just look back and just laugh at yourself and not take yourself so seriously. And I guess trust Lawrence to kind of make you learn these lessons in such creative ways.
Well, that was good fun to hear. And sadly, in the 4 years that I was there in school, nobody tried pulling this train parade prank mischief on me. That maybe because there were too few new girls in the year that I joined, so or maybe I joined in class 8, that's why that happened. Up next is Sujata Bisaria, Nee Goel. She, when I saw her last, was this gangly little brat, all arms and legs and big eyes. And it's wonderful to see that she's grown into this beautiful singing diva. So take it away, Sujata, and to support you, there we go.
It's hard to imagine this is how 2020 started. But across the world, dozens were falling ill with a mysterious virus that would ultimately change life as we know it.
Virus,
Chinese health authorities are still working to identify the virus behind a pneumonia outbreak in the central city of Wuhan.
I know that you're concerned about uncertainty.
Very concerned. Now that you brought it to my attention, I'll stay away from most people wearing masks.
COVID on the rise, put on your mask and talk. You need to stay well, even at peak, so play your part. It doesn't always seem to show till you know what you've got, and then it dawns. COVID's on the rise, put on your mask and talk.
Life is changing in Australia as it is changing all around the world.
The world's on a freeze, feel like we lost our freedom. The piece of cloth that often hampers breathing. It doesn't always seem to show till you know what you've got, and then it dawns. COVID's on the rise, put on your mask and talk.
The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades.
Stay smart, so that you can remain free. It's a small price to pay. Heed advice, we beg you, please. It doesn't always seem to show till you know what you've got, and then it dawns. COVID's on the rise, put on your mask and talk. They don't put up a fight, it's easy to keep it at bay. It came with a bang, and for a long while it's gonna stay. It doesn't always seem to show till you know what you've got, and then it dawns. COVID's on the rise, put on your mask and talk. It doesn't always seem to show till you know what you've got, and then it dawns. COVID's on the rise, put on your mask and talk. COVID's on the rise, put on your mask and talk. COVID's on the rise, put on your mask and talk.
I know that you're worried. You're worried about your health, about your family's health.
Act now, or risk the virus taking hold as it has elsewhere.
Well, you can see me with my mask on. I think the times are unprecedented. these are times to be very careful. So, as I speak, there are about 10 lakh, active cases in India, and every day we're seeing about 1 lakh cases. So stay safe, everyone. This was a little social message from the OL Assembly group. So now I think I'll take my mask off just for this video. All right. So for those of you who have just joined us, right? Um, for those of you who just tuned in, we are in the middle of the lighter side of Lovedale. That's the segment that we're running on the OL Assembly this week, this month. So sit back and enjoy the fun. And please encourage your friends who are lazing away on a Saturday afternoon to join and say there's fun happening at the OL Assembly. So please do log in, right? Next up, we have some more limericks, magic of Sujata, Anita, and Kuntal. Now, for those of you who have who are still wondering what happened to the GGP announcement that we made, well, it's still chugging along the Blue Mountain Railway. So hang on, it'll come to you soon. Sit back and enjoy the limericks. Over to you.
Practice for train parade? What a crusade! Jump on the bed with my trunk. I'm definitely going to flunk. Help! Someone please come to my aid.
Okay, so got a few glitches there, guys. The tech gods are certainly not smiling on us this evening. Is up to some mischief. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We're gonna announce what's happening next, and you all out there who joining us here, we're gonna find out whether it's going to come on screen. All right. So what we got next is our fun segment that everybody enjoys. We've got Quiz Dale. Um, Now, this is where OLs come together and we play a little bit of a game show. This one is along the stylings of Jeopardy. So here's who we got. We've got a wonderful set of intergenerational OLs. Once again, as always, remember those who win, you contribute your points to your house. So let's have a look at that leaderboard as of last month. So as of last month, what were the scores of the four houses? Here, take a look. Okay, well, let's see if that comes on. In any case, we'll go ahead and show you how Quiztale went this month. Have fun. Okay, so let me just, while we're waiting for that to come on, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about, send them a little bit of a gift, a token. Every time we have an OL, sponsor it. And this time we have Mahesh, who is from the batch of 1984, who's our sponsor. And so whoever wins, you're going to see who that is, gets those in the mail. Now, we had a running winner for a fair few months, but they got docked off last month. So this is going to be fun to see which house is in the lead. Now, remember, guys, the more you participate, the more likely your house gets points. So while we bring this on for you all, we also just want to um, tell you how this, because it's been 12 months, we've had a fair few good laughs with all of you, and we're having fun putting this together. Now, because it's the 12th month, we're doing something nice. This is essentially a hurrah. And next month, we're super excited because that really marks 1 year of this wonderful endeavor put together by other volunteer OLs. Um, so you're going to get a few laughs, see if you can answer some of those questions as they come along, and play along. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, we've got the quiz deal going on, guys. Sit back and enjoy for the next 15 minutes. Yep, here you go.
The quiz game about Lawrence School Lovedale. I'm your host and quizmaster Natraj Kaushik from the batch of 1985. Today's episode is sponsored by Mahesh Ramanathan, Sumeru batch of 1984. All participants in today's game will receive an OLA pin and the winner an OL t-shirt. My co-host is Sarita Aina, also from the batch of 1985. Over to you, Sari.
Hi, everybody. Another Quizdale, and what fun is that? Welcome, and it's so good to see you all. This quiz game is in the style of Jeopardy! There is a board with topics across the top. Each topic has 3 clues of increasing difficulty in its column. Of course, harder the question, greater the points. The clue is in the form of an answer, and your answer needs to be in the form of a question. Okay? Have lots of fun and all the best. Remember, you're playing for your house. Let's begin with introductions of yourselves with your name, batch, and a favorite memory from school. Yash, our returning champion, shall we start with you?
Hello everybody, my name is Yashodhara Singh. I'm from Jaipur. I'm from Nilgiri House, batch of 2009. And my favorite or the most memorable time in school would be going for band practice. So yeah.
Thank you, Yash. Ronak?
Hello everyone, I'm Ronak Singh Baad from Sumeru House, batch of 2020. And my favorite memory of school would be going to play basketball every day. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Ronak. Som?
Hi everybody, I'm Somaya, Ravli House 2010 batch, and probably my favorite memories from school would be participating in the drummers retreat.
Thank you, so. Koshi?
Hi, I'm Koshi Varghese, Vindhya House batch of 1980, and possibly my proudest moment was being the drum major for the bugle band. Class 8. Thanks.
Thank you, Koshi. Roizen?
I'm Roizen, new class of 72, Pankaj House. My first memory of school when I was a 6-year-old is when I came into school and I was crying so much because I had to leave my father. And then another kid came and started tickling me. And I completely forgot about crying and I became all right. And that this thing told me that we have to be there for one another through all the thick and thin in school.
So
awesome.
True.
Very nice.
Thank you, Roy. Back to you, Nati.
Thanks, Sari. Welcome everybody once again. Here are the rules of the game, how it's played. Participants take turns to answer questions. Participants will choose the questions for themselves by picking a panel on the board. You'll have 15 seconds to answer. Sari will keep time. The first answer given by a participant will be considered the final answer, and the quizmaster's decision is final. Points will be added to the participant's score for a correct answer. Points will be deducted for a wrong or incorrect answer. The participant who has the most points at the end of the game is obviously the winner. Points are also added to the running total of the house points for your respective houses. But the bottom line ultimately is for us to have fun and hopefully learn something new about Lawrence along the way. We try to have questions spread out. Different eras have had different experiences, language, etc. in school. So we try to spread the questions across. So you may or may not know certain things, but that's part of the game. With that, let's get started. The categories for today's game, all in the context of Lawrence School, are history, activities, faculty and staff, pranks, and movies. So Koshi, you get to go first. What panel do you want to pick?
Yeah, so I'll go to faculty staff, 200, please.
And your question is, head boy from 1954 who became a bandmaster.
Which is Denzel Prince.
And you're correct. Who is Denzel Prince?
Oh, who is Denzel Prince? Sorry, yes.
Well done. Raunak, your turn.
Activities for 100.
Bun and tea to start the day.
What is morning tea?
And what was it called? The Hindi version, if you will.
Chota and chai.
You are close enough, so we will give you the points. It was basically shortened to Chota Haziri. Roizen.
Faculty staff.
For
100.
Lives in the first house as you enter school.
Our principal.
That's correct.
Who
The
is the
headmaster, headmistress, or principal.
The headmaster.
Yash, it's your turn.
I'll go for history, 100.
Year school celebrated its 150th Founders Day.
2009. That's my year.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure it was 2009?
Yes.
Wasn't it 2008?
No, it was 2009. That's my batch. Oh, yes. I mean, yeah, that is correct. I can get half the points. I just got excited because
for 200, half the points.
Since I
no.
Yash, what happened?
I got too excited.
It was too easy a question to give you. So I tried to help you, but sorry, Yash, it was 2008. Som, your turn.
I'll go with movies 200.
Irfan Khan and Dulquer Salman drive into school to the song Chota Sa Fasana, obviously from this movie.
Just
no idea. Sorry.
Any idea?
No.
Not at all. Okay, I don't know what clue to give you, but it is, what is Karwan? So at the end of the first round, Sari, do you want to give us the scores?
Yes. Koshi is at 200. Raunak is at 100. Roizen at 100 as well. Yash is at -100 and Som is at -200. Plenty more rounds, everybody. So
Yes. Let's get on to round 2, and we'll start with Raunak this time. Raunak, do you want to pick your question?
Pranks 100.
Pranks 100. Training within quotes with luggage on top flats.
To go for rounds.
No. What do new students have to do to prepare to go home?
I don't know.
Idea, Raunak?
No.
Okay, so what is the train
parade?
you have that, Raunak?
Did you have that, Raunak?
No, train parade, we had it like before going for batches, you used to go just to get your name signed and all that. No, with luggage, that's why I didn't know that.
No running to the railway station?
No.
Update station? No?
That's interesting. That was, yeah, there was a prank associated with it.
There was an older year, I think.
Roizen, your turn. Roizen?
History 200. History 200.
History 200. The architect of the main school building. This was featured in one of the OL assemblies, previous OL assemblies. So we also try to encourage you to watch the OL assemblies.
I have no idea.
Time up.
Who was Robert Grissom? Okay. Yashodhara?
Movies for 100.
Amitabh Bachchan and Shashi Kapoor joined school as teachers to kidnap a student. And a little clue is both Sari and I made our acting debuts in this movie. Basically our batch.
A very famous movie.
Amitabh Bachchan movie I know is Hum, which was shot there, but
This was previous to that. Like I said, we acted in it as six standard students. So that gives you the year, kind of.
Time up.
Is it some do teen something?
Okay, we've given you enough, but you came close. It's door to punch. Som, your turn.
I got activities 200. Sir.
Time for writing letters and mugging.
Prep.
You're correct.
Prep.
Okay, Koshi, your turn.
I'll go for activities 300, please.
Twice a week ritual at the Pigeonhole.
What is getting your kit?
You're correct.
Getting your kit.
Yep, you're correct.
Good. Okay.
Okay, at the end of round 2, Sari, do you want to give us the scores?
Yes, Nati. So Koshi is at 500, Ronak is at 0, Roizen at -100, Yash -200, and Som at 0. Okay, last round, everybody.
Last round, things can still change. We'll start with Roizen this time. Roizen, go ahead and pick.
Pranks 200.
Folded sheet that meets your feet.
Counterpane. What is a counterpane?
No, what happens? What do we do with the counterpanes to play a prank?
Not really counterpane, the sheet.
The sheet, I'm sorry.
Rosie, you definitely had this. Think and guess.
Right. How are we doing on time? Sorry.
Time up.
Okay. Sorry, Roizen. It's an apple pie.
Apple pie.
We didn't have that.
You didn't have Rosie?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Yash, it's your turn.
Okay.
Faculty 300, faculty staff.
Brothers who taught Hindi, known affectionately as Bull and Trout.
I only know Ramesh sir, I think. I don't know.
This is unfortunately not from your time, but they are pretty popular in school.
Time up.
Okay. Any idea, Yash?
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
Okay, who are C. Mukherjee and M. Mukherjee, the Mukherjee brothers? Som, it's your turn.
Pranks 300.
Being stood up while you're asleep.
Wake up? No.
What did the kids do to the beds or the cots?
Oh, that is, I don't know. Just call it whirlpool. No. Earthquake. Earthquake?
No, sorry. What is a verti? or a vertical.
Oh, vertical.
The guys had this, the girls didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Koshi, your turn.
300 history, please.
The Olympic team used top flats for its training in 1968. This Olympic team.
What is the hockey team?
I will give it to you, the Indian hockey team, right?
Indian hockey team, yeah.
Okay.
Good for you, Koshi.
Awesome, Koshi.
Really good.
And finally, we have Raunak.
Movies 300.
With movies 300. Kajol and friends wash senior school windows.
Hasina maan jayegi.
No.
Zero idea.
I'll give you the name, the movie. It's Sapne or Minsara Kanavu in Tamil. So there you go. So that's the end of the game. It's been very interesting. Sari, do you want to give us the scores?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Koshi's scores, the highest scorer till now on Quizdale.
That's
Koshi is at 100, Ronak is at -300, Royzen -300, Yash -500, and Som at -300 as well.
Yep. So Koshi with the highest score ever in Quizdale so far, you're the winner. Congratulations.
Well done.
Yes, you. Thank you. Thanks,
And
everyone.
Koshi, as the winner, you come back
Is that
in
so?
our next Quizdale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
thank you very much.
So that brings us to the end of today's game. We will be back with another episode of Quizdale in the next OL Assembly. If you want to participate and be a winner in this fun game, please write to us at olalovedale@gmail.com. Again, that email address is olalovedale@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody, and goodbye.
Congratulations, Koshi, for winning that edition of Quizdale with the highest top score ever. I think that's a record for future, Quizdale participants to beat, right? So, with that, we'll move on to just tell you what the scores look like currently. So, Aravalli currently is at -300. Nilgiri Nalini is at -500. Sumeru or Devdar is at 0, and Vindhya Pankaj is at 500. Right. So, any challenges for Vindhya here? If any of you want to participate, please do write in, and we shall be able to accommodate you and win points for your houses. Right. So that was a fun edition of Quizdale. All right. Another edition. It's really a fun segment that we've put. On this, right? And I'm hoping all of you are having fun on the lighter side of Lovedale, right? It's just so much fun because when we thought about putting the segment together, there's so many of the the videos that came up, of the enjoyment that people had, or the pranks that people played, or the mischief that people played, rather, I would say, right? In Lovedale. So here's another set of mischief mongers of Lovedale. So to say, right? Before that, it will be preluded by a limerick called Apple Pie, again by the famous duo of Sujata, Anita, and Kuntal. Followed by which we will have Kushbu Ghosh from the batch of 2013, talking about some of the mischiefs that were there in school, and also Rukmini Krishnan from the batch of 61. So 2 generations apart. Enjoy it.
Practice for train parade? What a crusade! Jump on the bed with my trunk. I'm definitely going to flunk. Help! Someone please come to my aid.
Kushbu Ghosh from the batch of 04 to 13, and I'm here to share a few of my memories of Lawrence School Lovedale, which have my heart. This makes me so nostalgic right now. Okay, there's this one memory that I clearly have in my head, which was back in 2004. I remember I was admitted in the hospital, and we used to be given tea, evening snacks and stuff. So I had got a really hot cup of tea, which I had kept on the bed, and I had biscuit in one of my hands. So the sisters would come in the evening and they would check our temperature every evening. So again, as the routine was, they had come and put the thermometer under my tongue. Uh, After that, I was just talking to Ellie and Haru, and we were so engrossed in talking to each other. I didn't realize I removed the thermometer and I wanted to dip the biscuit into the tea, but then I ended up dipping the thermometer into the tea, and then I immediately put back the thermometer under my tongue because I was scared they would shout at me. Then sister came to check the temperature and my temperature had shot up to 104, and I had to stay a few more days in the hospital, and I couldn't tell her that I did that.
Girls even tried running away from school. We dressed up as bodyguards and late one evening started running down towards the big tree and Lovedale station, only to be confronted by Miss Balla coming back from her evening walk. We ran past her and she must have suddenly recognized us and called out in her deep-throated voice, "Girls!" We stopped in our tracks.
It's been so fun to hear all of these stories coming through. Folks, it's always a pleasure to receive all of your compilations and testimonials and reminiscences. So thank you all, whoever has participated so far. We've got more coming up. I did do an introduction to the glimpses of a glorious past. Folks, we've got that back. As Vinod said, it came chugging along slowly but surely. So here we have glimpses of a glorious past. It tells us a little bit about the Blue Mountain Railways and its connection to our school. So do enjoy the story.
Come to Lawrence, come to Lawrence. It's a place of misery. There's a signpost in the corner saying welcome unto thee. Don't believe it, don't believe it, it is all a pack of lies.
If it wasn't for the children, it would be a paradise.
Fill the pool up, push them all in one by one.
Put their nonsense in the middle, let the teachers have some fun. Yes, the children are so lovely to see. Spend one day in the classroom and we're going to climb a tree.
Okay, guys, so I think we got bamboozled once again by the tech gods. I guess they don't want you to really see what we've got in store for you. So, what we're going to do is see what we've got coming up next. And it's going to be almost like a lottery edition. this point. So here we go.
Hi guys, I haven't had so much fun in a long, long time, and I have to thank whoever for this. So you just heard the Come to Lawrence song. This was not the students' version. This was the teachers' version. So Lawrence is a place where it's not just the kids who have fun; the teachers do as well. I remember we used to sit at the dormitory windows overlooking Maheni's house, and Mac would, come pat up his scooter, and he would quietly slip into Henny's house, and we were, of course, always gossiping about what was going on there. But they were just sharing a drink and having a smoke and probably talking about how miserable we students were in English. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. And we do have Mr. Venkatachalam. A lot of you know him as Clint. I somehow used to know him as Kami. Very handsome, very dapper, well-dressed teacher who I never had the privilege of being taught by. But he's got some tales to tell us. And I think we've got some more, mischief compilations. So let's see what the gods have in store for us. Today is pick day.
It is always a pleasure to share an instance when Laurentians very cleverly fooled me and laughed to their heart's content on All Fools' Day prank in the mid-1980s when I was housemaster of Aravalli House in the senior school. The whole episode was well thought out and executed in precision by the senior boys of Sumeru House. As their housemaster, Mr. Krishnaswamy, was out of station, I was given the additional responsibility of looking after the Sumeru House as their dormitories were very close to ours. Around midnight on March 31st of that year, a group of senior boys of Sumeru House knocked at the door to inform me that Ching got cut his right hand thumb while opening a tin, and the finger had been severed from the palm, and the severed piece is kept in a box. They were desperately pleading with me to inform the RMO to send a stretcher, advising me that the severed finger could be stitched back if done immediately by the doctor. I was also told that Ching was sitting in the prefect's room. Immediately I rushed to the room and saw Ching holding an old shoebox, screaming with pain. I could see his thumb inside the box with cotton around it soaked with blood like this. It was a ghastly look. A few minutes later, all the other boys came there from the dorm to show their sympathy, and they were all pleading with me to call the RMO. In those days, there was only one intercom phone available, which was kept on the corridor outside Sumeru House Master's house. As I always moved out of the room to inform the doctor, the whole gang shouted together, "April Fool." Initially, I was dumbfounded and could not understand anything. Ching slowly took the finger out of the box to show his thumb. Then only I realized the whole drama was created to fool me. Well, I quietly walked out of the room, back to my house with a great sense of relief. That incident remains in my memory forever and has been narrated to many. Thanks to all lawyers for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. Bye. Take care.
Receiving end of pranks in Lawrence. Some rather mundane, like telling newcomers they had to get their tags by going on a train parade to the churchyard, dragging their suitcases behind them, or draping a white bedsheet over yourself at Halloween to scare people. But the creepiest, literally creepiest, was the prank of the Beatles, affectionately called Bandus. There used to be an infestation of beetles in summer. They were everywhere. They were squished underfoot if you were not careful when walking in the corridors or dorms. And these were the ammunition for a rather nasty prank. The butt of the joke, if I recall correctly, was Bessie. Not very sure though, so forgive me if I'm wrong. The scene of the crime was Pankaj House dorm. Her mates wanted to play a prank on her and got us juniors to collect oodles of beetles. That was no problem for us at all. Since prep school days, we were used to collecting beetles, or as we called it, light boochies, from the broom plants around. At night, the bandus would slip between the sheets. Getting into bed for a well-earned rest and having creepy crawlies all over you, yuck, sadistic. There were yells and screams and fake concern. It was hilarious at the level of girlish carefree days, but looking back, I shudder to think of it.
Ooh, those were creepy crawlies. That would be quite the little mischief there. Guys, guess what? I guess Lord Krishna and Loki have taken a break, and we are now going to bring to you glimpses of. Here we go once again. For those who might have missed the intro before, we are going to get into a little bit of storytelling on certain historical facts about school and around school. So this portion of the endeavor, Glimpses of a Glorious Past, which is about documenting the history of the school, is about the Blue Mountain Railways and their connection to our school. So here we go. Fingers crossed. You're going to see the story now.
The magical Blue Mountains, a lovely little toy train, and a fascinating journey down memory lane. Now departing from the main platform.
In the last episode of Glimpses of a Glorious Past, an informal history of the Lawrence School, Lovedale, we saw how school was built by Madras sappers and miners along with Chinese convicts from Neduvattam jail in the 1860s. We also saw how Chinese tokens were used as school cash from 1950 to 1964. In this episode, we shall see how the Lawrence Asylum in Uttakamand consolidated its growth during the second half of the 19th century. We will also look at how the Nilgiri Mountain Railways came into being and its deep connection with the Lawrence School.
Four ordained priests of the Church of England, Reverends Whitehouse, Bliss, Dean and Atkinson, administered the Lawrence Asylum from 1862 to 1907. Running it well enough to be rewarded in 1877 with a visit by as big a dignitary as the representative of Queen Victoria in India, Lord Lytton, the Viceroy and Governor General. By 1871, the inmates of the Madras Military Male Asylum were amalgamated in the Lawrence Asylum's new campus at Lovedale, followed in 1904 by the girls of the Madras Female Military Asylum. A major development was the coming of the railways to our picturesque hills. The idea of a railway line from the plains to Uttakamand was first mooted in 1854. However, it took 45 years for the project to get the green signal. Work started in 1891 with the first stretch from Mettupalayam to Konoor being commissioned by the Nilgiris Railway Company in 1899. Major J.J. Morant Royal Engineers district engineer for the Nilgiris, was the main person responsible for pushing through this proposal. 9 years later, the railways were extended to Ooty via Lovedale. This was 130 years ago.
Not forgetting the chugging of the train, the steam engines, and then the occasional stop, and you were wondering whether the carriage was going to roll down to Metropolitan. The tunnels were very enjoyable too. We had the engine drivers honking away, kids yelling away, pranks being played on the girls, their hair being tugged, and then of course we had all the singing with My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. She'll be bringing masala dosas when she comes. She'll be coming down the mountain. She'll be coming down the mountains.
To put things in context, think of how people travel now and how people traveled back in the day. Today, if you can fly from Chennai to Coimbatore in about an hour, drive up to Ooty in 2.5, making your total travel time 3.5 hours. If out of nostalgia do you decide to take the train, the famous Blue Mountain Nilgiri Express will take you a little over 9 hours to get to Metti and another 5 by hill train to reach Ooty. What took you 14 hours by train took Lord Macaulay 1 week to reach Ooty in 1834 when there were no trains in use. And to think he was a member of the Governor General's Council, no less. For lesser mortals travelling by slower modes of transport like the bullock cart, the same journey could take months. That's the difference the railways made to the economy and the people of the Nilgiris.
The train parade was in churchyard for preppers and girls, where teachers in charge of various parties would pick off your name off a list, hand over your baggage tabs to the dorm helper. The dorm helper would ensure that the tin box, bedroll and airbag was packed and ready to leave on the day. But there was a somewhat cruel trick played by seniors on the much homesick loner kids by asking them to pack their tin trunks and bring it to the train parade. Teachers would usually intervene at the outset, and the poor kid would feel like an ass, but nevertheless learn the value of buddies having your back.
The Nilgiri Mountain Railway is the only railway in India to still use the rack and pinion system of traction. It reaches among the highest elevations in Asia with some of the steepest gradients. Nearly 100 years after its completion, in 2005, it was honored by being designated a Heritage Mountain Railway by UNESCO. All of us remember Beligauda Bridge, that famous landmark near Lovedale railway station. It was named after Rao Bahadur H.J. Beligauda, the railways contractor who built the railway tracks all the way from Metti to Ooty.
All going on a summer holiday. Don't we like that word, holidays? It conjures magic, holidays. And that's exactly what this topic's about. It's about the train parades that we had in school, organized near the churchyard. And that was probably the closest we got to the girls' school and the girls, because we all looked forward to standing in line, waiting to be ticked off on which batch, whether it was Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, and of course, not forgetting the serpentine queues of Kerala. Well, talking about the hill train, trips to Ooty and Katy, the town knew we were coming in because the Lovedale guys were always yelling and shouting through tunnels. And of course, when we got out in Ooty or Katy or Kuno, we would just make our presence felt. The class of 67 celebrated its 50th anniversary by meeting in Lovedale. And we also made a train trip from Lovedale to Kuno. As usual, went yelling through the tunnels. It was a great trip, a great recollection, and we certainly enjoyed bringing good memories back.
Do spare a thought for those who planned and executed the construction of the Nilgiri Mountain Railway. They faced inhospitable, dangerous terrain and many difficult engineering challenges. Thank them when you next enjoy the unmatched scenic beauty of the train journey in the Nilgiri Hills.
Oh, that was so nice. I'm so glad we got to see that and we got to show that to you. Thank you, Elizabeth, Priya, and Prem Uncle for that, bringing us that little sojourn into the Blue Mountain Railways. One always wonders how they cut through those mountains there, and they shed some light on that. We've got one last testimonial of storytelling, reminiscences from the past by OL Joseph Thomas from the batch of 1957, and he's going to talk about seniors' mischief and pillow fights. Tune in and enjoy the story.
Nilgiri House was in the present Vindhya House dorm. So Aravali and Nilgiri were neighbors. After dinner, the Nilgiri House boys used to walk through Aravali House to go to their dorm. So they were a tempting target, and very soon they developed pillow fights. Aravali House boys used to attack the Nilgiri House boys with pillows, so they would rush to their dorm and come back with their pillows. So this became a regular affair, and the Nilgiri House master, Mr. Vyas, didn't like it one bit. So all his efforts to stop it did not work. So then he got a wall built in the corridor between Aravali and Nilgiri houses, and we had a common night bog and wash basin area. So he put a wall right through the middle of it. Even that did not stop the pillow fights, because the Aravali House boys used to climb over the wall and go and attack the Nilgiri House boys. So then Mr. Vyas got wire mesh made, strong wire mesh made from the wall right to the ceiling of the night bog. So that was the end of the Aravali and Nilgiri pillow fights.
Pillow fights, that looks like fun. In fact, as Vinod and Sam Auntie joined me here as well. Guys, I think I saw that on one of our Facebook groups here. Somebody had posted one of those old photos of a pillow fight in underway, and I guess Joseph Thomas was talking about something like that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Did you guys have that in your eras?
Pillow fights. I don't remember pillow fights in my era so much, but nevertheless, I think it was such a lovely story to listen to, right? Pillow fights. It sounds fun, right? And I think it is good fun to listen to Joseph Thomas. And he was talking about it like 50, 60 years back. So it sounds like real fun. What about you, Samanti?
No, we didn't have pillow fights. But I remember when I was in class 8, we had Sanskrit. Mr. Gundurao used to teach us, and the floor above us was Aravali House, and they were wooden floors with cracks in the boards. And these boys, the Aravali House boys, used to go up there, and they would sprinkle cuticura powder, of all powders, cuticura powder on our heads, and they would put their ties through the cracks and keep pulling them up and down. And Mr. Gundurao, of course, didn't know how to react. But you meet these boys today when they're 50, 60 years old, and you imagine them, sort of scrunched over the floor, pouring powder on your heads, and it's the most hilarious thing that can happen. Anyway,
I'll
it's
tell
a
you. I'll tell you
really
another
long
hilarious thing that can happen is a lot of the pranks that have been happening during today's session. It's been full of mischief. This
Yes.
assembly. I hope you guys have been rolling with the punches along with us here. But I think Samanti, you wanted to share something. You said you were like, Karishma, I want to
This one is the Chinese coins that the WhatsApp, that was a prank. It's not, it's just a WhatsApp fun thing that we sort of, created. Prem Rao worded it, and we've been spreading it around. So please do not take it seriously. No Chinese coins have been found as yet. There is still a chance that you might just be the guy who or gal who digs it up the next time you're up in school. So go there, start digging.
Or you may find them and they may not be of much value, but that's for another day. But that was fun, guys. That was.
I think we should go to. I think on the next bill we should go to Smith's cave, nevertheless, and figure out if the coins are still there or if there are. So let's try and do that.
Alrighty, guys. So that's a wrap from us on this. Vinod, tell us about what's coming up.
Yeah. So before I move to what's coming up next, so if like as usual, if any of your friends tell you that, oh, I missed the OL assembly, what do you tell them? Search the OL Facebook page or the YouTube page, and there you find it. The recordings are there, not just this edition, all the previous editions are there. Please go watch it, enjoy it, have fun. What's coming up next? OL Nation, 2 weeks from now, 24th of April. Apparently, it's Tendulkar's birthday as well, so it's a nice, fun way to remember that. So 24th April, tune into OL Nation, and 8th of May is the big occasion, anniversary celebration of the OL Assembly. So Karishma, you getting ready for that?
I mean, this is exciting, right? Because it's kind of like a facsimile of Founders. It's around that time, so we're kind of gonna try to bring those themes in, and that's gonna be really fun. So we're really looking to you guys to, chime in, reach out, participate. It's going to be fun. Samanti, you've been on as a guest host today. How was your experience?
I've had a fantastic time. I've just been laughing away over here over all the mischief compilations, limericks, and of course the the mix-ups that have been happening. It's really been great fun, and I never thought I'd enjoy being this side of the computer or the screen so much, but it has been good fun. And I would request all of you OLs who are watching this, join in. Come on, be part of the gang. After all, it's just us, your school buddies. Share your thoughts, share your stories, share your songs, share your talent, and come on, let's have this thing a real success. So thank you, Karishma. Thank you, Vinod. It's been fantastic. And thank you, Beena and Mahesh and Sham. You guys have all been really fantastic.
Thanks so much, Samanti. Anything else, in terms of what we're doing for next, we already told you that it's going to be kind of a founder special there. So that's really a bye from all of us. And as we bid you adieu, stay on for the credits so you can see who all were involved. Just stick around so that you can give them hurrah and celebrate with us as we wrap 12 wonderful episodes of the OL Assembly. Once again, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night to all who are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for joining us. This is the OL Assembly team. Stick around.
If you miss the straight on boss, you will know that I'm in